Alright, let me get going. Good morning, guys. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mark Schrader. I am a project and support engineer at Adroit Technologies. I've recently celebrated 2 years with the guys, and I'm quite proud of myself. And yeah, let's get going. Let's talk about CCLink IE. Very nice protocol. I think you guys will enjoy the presentation. I enjoyed putting it together, and yeah, I hope it goes well. All right. So what we're going to talk about in our agenda, we're going to do a quick introduction. Then I'm going to talk about the theory around CCLink IE. Then I'll run through a quick scenario with you guys, and I'll show you the setup for the scenario for the VSD and for the PLC. And then I'm going to do a little video for you guys to show you the practical way of setting it up. So I'm going to show you how to do it in theory, and then I'll show you guys how to do it practically. Okay. So what is CCLink? CCLink is a global leader in networks, which is, of course, manufactured primarily by Mitsubishi. Over 12 million devices installed worldwide. It's Asia's leading network. Over 290 manufacturers produce CCLink compatible devices, and a network of over 20 support locations around the globe, of which South Africa is one of them. Okay. So the integrated network part, as you can see, it works down at the control and device level, not really at your enterprise level. Your control level will mostly be CCLink IE control, and at the bottom, your device level, CCLink IEField, motion, safety, and energy. So the main difference between CCLink IE and the rest of the CCLink is that CCLink IE is Ethernet based, whereas CCLink is totally serial based, RS485. Okay. So nice, very fast Ethernet. It's the fastest network in the world. You can get up to 1 gigabyte. You can get that. It's Ethernet based. CCLink IE is an industrial leader. 1 gigabit high speed, large capacity network, and the division of 1 gigabit broadband into users for distributed control and field secures the reliability of control communication and realizes real-time data collection. Okay, so Industry 4.0 performance. It's seen in the next big change in manufacturing, where so-called cyber physical systems and the Internet of Things will provide significant benefits to increase the capabilities, efficiency, and flexibility of manufacturing systems in general. While there are many different industrial Ethernet technologies to choose from, only one can offer the widest bandwidth of all, and that is CCLink IE with its gigabit performance. Okay. So reliable and stable communication. Improved quality of communication is achieved through a stable control period. Cyclic communication for I/O, of course, 1 gigabit broadband, transient message communication band for traceability and other data. What these few slides are really trying to tell you is that CCLink IE is fast. It's a gigabit network. Okay, and later on I'll talk to you guys a little bit about CCLink IEField and what the difference is between IEField and IEField Basic and CCLink Safety and things like that. Okay, so here's your typical IE system, CCLink IE system. On top you'll have your main control, where your main PLCs and your main PC and your main robots will communicate on IEField. They will control the PLCs below them. So in other words, a CCLink IEField, a safety PLC, which will go to our safety remote IO, and of course it will go down to general IO, servos, robots, wireless comms, and yeah, motion control, safety control, equipment control. Okay. By the way, the future plan will be TCP/IP wireless applications. That has not been released yet to my knowledge. They're probably still working on it at the moment. Okay. So IE control. Okay, IE control is ultra reliable redundant architecture. When they talk about redundant, it means that it can communicate in a ring. So if one link falls away, it will basically get started up on another link again, so you don't lose any communications. Okay, this meets the Ethernet standard IEEE 802.3z, seamless data communication between devices. It enables data connectivity across the shop floor at enterprise levels. Okay, so IEField, this is a general purpose flexible network. I will show you guys later how to set up CCLink IEField. It's actually very easy. It was a lot easier than I thought it was when I started working on it. I'll show you later why I say so. Okay. The network is designed to simultaneously handle distributed control, I/O control, safety, and motion control. The network routing layout is highly flexible to best fit the needs of the application, and this can obviously be a line and star mixed or ring topology. Okay. If you don't know what that means, basically a star topology is your typical network that you would have at an office. You have like a central sort of switch, and that will network out to everybody else, kind of like a star, and that's why they call it a star connection. A line means basically it goes from one to another, so you go from one PLC to another. You don't have a good amount of redundancy like that, and also not with a star, by the way, but with a ring topology you have very good redundancy. Okay. So IEField master local module. What are the features? As you can see there on the right hand side, you have the QJ71, LJ71, and the QS0771, OJ71, sorry. Those are basically your IE fields, your CCLink IE fields. Okay, so in other words, those will basically work on shop floor level. Okay, this can operate as either a master or local station. Okay, so typical with Ethernet type applications, you don't normally have one master. A master can act as a slave device as well. Okay, so perfect for managing remote I/O control and distributed control. Devices from other stations can easily be accessed through transient communications using dedicated instructions. Function blocks for transient communications are available to further simplify messaging. If you need these function blocks, guys, contact me. My email is at the bottom, and we'll help you get the function blocks. Okay, but I'll show you the nice thing about setting up the IEField with a not a Q series, with a FX5U series PLC, and I'll show you actually how easy it is to actually set it up. You don't need function blocks, which makes it really, really cool. Okay, the network can ensure 32-bit data integrity using the station-based block data assurance function. Okay. So before I go on, guys, do you guys have any questions? Let's have a look here. Okay, nothing as yet. Okay, cool. Let me carry on. Some of the key features of CCLink IEField is its unbeatable speed, like I spoke about earlier. It's easy to configure, like I'll show you guys a little bit later. And diagnosis is relatively easy. Wide-ranging modules. You also have not just Mitsubishi modules, but you'll have third-party modules as well. Okay. Seamless communication, and of course, most importantly, safety. Okay. So unbeatable speed, you get your 1 gigabit communication. A high-speed communication reduces your talk time, your takt time. I think that's supposed to be talk time. The largest bandwidth of any industrial network. Ultra high speed and ultra large capacity network with real-time performance. Easy diagnosis. You can perform these diagnoses and troubleshoot effectively regardless of your experience. The network condition is automatically examined by the diagnostic tool with a reduced setup and maintenance costs. It really is easy to diagnose. If GXWorks 3 has a nice diagnostic tool that you can actually do this with. Seamless communication. Remotely collect information and perform maintenance operations from anywhere. When joined, different CC-Link networks operate seamlessly as one network, so there is no need to pay attention to the network hierarchy. Once communication is established, data can be collected from field devices, and maintenance duties can be performed. Okay, everything from the field equipment to the upper level information system is accessible from any point on the network. Okay. Some of your intelligent functions: deterministic data exchange and constant scan time, eliminates data collisions, no need for switches and hubs, which is quite nice. Although if you're going to run a bigger network, you are going to need a switch or a hub, but I would recommend always using a switch and not a hub, because switches just give you much better performance. You don't want that. You don't want a hub to interfere with your connectivity and your speed at the end of the day. So integrated safety and motion control as well. Okay. Like I said earlier, it is easy to configure. A single control network supports up to 120 stations. A network linked together can cover 15,000 kilometers of cabling and 28,000 network stations. Okay, 15,000 kilometers of cabling, that's further than from here to Cape Town. That's like 10 times from here to Cape Town. So that is a heck of a big network that you can actually set up for yourself. Well, large sort of network. So your common memory models establishes communications for the whole network. Excuse me. So your CCLink IE network, safety networked. Controllers enable monitoring and control of safety critical devices. Ultra-fast network allows rapid synchronization of tasks that relate to safety processes. Safety sensory device information can be relayed simply across the entire network architecture. Okay. And of course, your typical applications where you would use it. I would say that you can use it in any application, any automation sort of application. But where they like to use it is in the life sciences, with packaging, pharmaceuticals, consumer CPG with flat panel displays, paper manufacturing, print press control, water treatments and water purification plants, automotive, vehicle assembly, energy management, and of course R&D, food and beverage, bottling, packaging, milk production. Okay, so these are your typical applications, but these are not all your applications. Okay, just keep that in mind. Okay. Before I carry on, guys, any questions? Let's have a look there. See how people are there, but they're not asking questions. So I think I'm doing a good job so far. Trying to explain to you what CCLink IE is all about. All right. So a little scenario that we have over here. This is basically a setup that I did just as an example. I have an FX5U 32 MRES, and that connects with CCLink IE, but CCLink IE basic. Now, the difference between CCLink IE basic and CCLink IE field, CCLink IE field and IE basic. Okay, CCLink IE field basic communicates on 100 megs, and CCLink IE field communicates at 1 gigabit. That's just something you need to keep in mind. Okay, so I communicated between the FX PLC and the F800 VSD, both Mitsubishi products, and I'll show you how to do that now. So first we have a look at your VSD setup. These are your typical parameters that you set up. Okay, these are just your comms parameters. Okay, I haven't put in any other parameters like, for example, your speed parameters or anything like that. Okay, these are your typical parameters that you will set up. Okay, just want you to have a look at a few parameters, not a lot of them. This over here, these 4 parameters, that's the actual IP address. So you give your drive an IP address. So in this instance, it's 192.168.3.23. And then you need to tell the device which master it needs to talk to. So then you write here 192.168.3.20. So you will write it to these 4 parameters over here. Okay. So if you guys have any questions about the typical parameters, email me and I'll send these parameters through to you and you can have a look at it for yourself. Okay. And get your comms to work with your VSD or your VFD. Call it whatever you want. Okay, so here's a quick solution. Well, this was the VSD setup. Now we're going to have a look at the PLC setup. So first of all, you're going to open GXWorks 3 and you're going to start a new project. Because the IQF, otherwise known as the FX5U, only works on GXWorks 3. Okay, so start a new project. You're going to select your series, your type, and your language. So FX5 CPU, type FX5U, and your language, I like to use FBD/ladder. Okay. So the next thing you do is you go to your navigation window because you first want to, before you do anything, you want to set up your parameters. Okay. So the general way I like to do my projects is I like to set up my parameters first. Then I like to add my labels, like my global variables and my local variables, before I actually start doing the actual programming. So first thing that you're going to do is you're going to set up your parameters, and we're first going to set up our Ethernet port. Now this is where we will set up our actual CCLink IE field settings. Okay. So the first step, of course, you're going to set up your IP address. This IP address over here is the IP address of the PLC. If you remember earlier in the VSD's parameters, I set up the IP address as 192.168.3.20. That was the master that would be talking to it. Okay. So first step, change your IP address, else it's not going to work. The next thing you do is you enable CCLink IEF basic settings. Okay. You can see over there. You go and you click over there and it will enable the settings for you. Next thing you do, you want to select configuration settings. So under configuration settings, under your detailed settings next to there, you're going to click on that button over there and it will open the following page for you. Okay. Now here's the nice thing. This is what I really like about CCLink IE. There's a detect now button. Now what this detect now button does is it will scan through your network and it will actually find the devices that are on the network. So you click on detect now and your FR-F800E should now be at the bottom screen. Okay. So if everything has gone well, that's where your PLC will be. It will even fill in the IP address for you of the device that you're going to be talking to. Okay, so there's your device and there's your IP address that you're talking to. Okay, it's as easy as that. Just detect now, it will find the devices for you, and all you do is you say close with reflecting setting. That basically saves everything inside this configuration for you. Okay. Then the next thing you want to select refresh settings to allocate your I/O. So you go to refresh settings, which is just below the network configuration, and you're going to click on that little button over there. And it will open up your I/O page. This is where you're going to basically select your I/O and what I/O you want. I like to select B bits when it comes to networking protocols and W words. Okay. So I've set in the RX, that is inputs. Those are your digital inputs. RY is your digital outputs. RWR is your read for your words, and your RWW is your write for your words. So we're going to read from B0. We're going to write from B40. We're going to then read from W0, sorry, and W100 we're going to write to. And then of course you're going to say check. What it does then is it checks everything on your page, and you're going to say apply. Now the important thing is, a lot of people, what they do is they say check and they close the window and they don't click on the apply button. You have to click on the apply button, or else it's not going to save your network settings for you. Then it means you have to start everything over again. In other words, change your IP address, add the device, set the IO all from the start again. Okay, so always remember to click the apply button. The next step, we've done the parameters. It was as simple as that. Okay, and now you want to convert your program. When you convert your program, it just basically checks for any irregularities in your program. And once that is complete, then you write to your PLC. Okay, and then now I will show you a quick practical setup of how it works. Okay. Before I carry on with that, just want to check if there are any questions at the moment. Anything coming through on the chat. Don't be scared to ask. I won't bite hard. Alright, it looks like there are no questions at the moment. So basically everything that I spoke to you guys about on how to do the setup, I will show you in a video in a practical way on how to do it. Okay. So as I said, you start with selecting your project. You open up your GXWorks, you go to project, you select a new project. And you say, okay, when it asks you what PLC you want to talk to. So in this example, like I said, FX5U and all of that. Just wait for it to start up, and once it started up, now we go and change our parameters. Always go and do your parameters first. So I want to change my Ethernet ports parameters. And of course, when you change your Ethernet port parameters, you always want to change your IP address first. So 192.168.3.20, that's right, because that's going to be your master for that device. Oh, by the way, the setup on the drive has been done already. Okay, so I'm not going to show you that. So now we enable the IEField. We look at our network configuration. It's going to open up this window for you. So once it opens up this window, now all you do is you say detect now. You say yes, you always say yes, and it will go and find the devices for you on your network. So as you see there's my slave station. That's my drive that I'm talking to. There's the IP address, and everything has basically been set up for you. Then you say close with reflecting setting. In other words, it saves the settings for you. Say yes, and now you go and give it its addresses. So like I said earlier, I like to use B bits. You can still use M bits if you want to. If you want to use words, you can also use your D registers. I like using B, as I'll show you now. My B bits and my W words, and I will allocate my devices. So 0, 40. These are just random numbers I put together, by the way. You don't have to use these ones. And 0, and I think I made the last right 100. That's right. There we go. Then, like I said before, you go and you say check. It checks for any errors. No errors. It's a good thing. And then you say apply. Always remember to say apply. Okay. And there your network setup has been done. It's as easy as that. Okay. So the next thing you want to do is you want to add your labels. So I'm going to add labels just for this programming block. I'm not going to add global variables. I'm just going to add local variables. And let me type that quickly for you. And there they are. Quickly typed it in for you. So check. Also no error found, which is a good thing. And now we're going to do our program. So I'm just going to add two little blocks just to basically start up the PLC, like the VSD. I'm going to start it up in forward, and I'm going to start it up in reverse, just as an example for you guys. So there, I typed that in quickly. Don't want to waste your time. So there it is. B40, you turn the VSD on to go forward, and B41 is to turn on your VSD to go in reverse. Okay. So everything's been done, and now all we need to do is convert our program. So in other words, it's going to build the program for us. It takes a few seconds. If you don't have any error messages popping up, then you have generally done very well. Okay. So online, let's quickly see where we're writing to. Let's do a quick comms test. So I have connection with the FX5. And now that I have a connection with the FX5, now I can quickly download the program. So select all, you say execute, and now it writes the program to the PLC. Doesn't take too long because it is Ethernet communications, and we all know that Ethernet communication is a lot faster, a lot more reliable than serial communication. So there you go. That's been done. Now I need to reset the PLC. After you download a program, you always need to reset the PLC. So it's been reset. Start up the PLC, and I don't know if you can see it there, but the light on the PLC is flashing on and off. That basically shows you that there's good communications between the PLC and the VSD. Now, in case you don't believe me, I'm just going to start up the VSD. So I'm going to start it up by turning that forward bit on, which will basically turn on the B40 bit, which means it will go forward. Modify the value, and it starts that bit on. And as you can see on the bottom right there, it has sped up to 28 Hertz. That is just a default minimum setting that I put in there. And then debug, and then turn it off. As you can see, it's winding down over there. So the next thing I want to do is I just want to show you the reverse. So modify value, and it will start up again. There are two green buttons on there. I don't know if you can see it, but the reverse light is on over there. It's a little red light showing me that it is running in reverse at the moment. And then we modify the value and we turn it off. And that's it, everybody. That's how easy it is to actually set up IE, CCLink IE. It's really easy. It's very simple. Well, for me at least, and I hope that after this little webinar that it would be easy for you as well. Okay. So guys, there we go. The webinar's over, but not completely over. I just want to see if we have any questions over there from people. Anybody can ask me questions. If you do not have questions for me now, my contact details are on the left here, sorry. You can dial me on my cell phone, or you can email me, marks@adroit.co.za. Okay. So let's see, any questions, guys? If there are no questions, then it means I've done a fantastic job. And everybody understands what I just spoke about. All right. Just want to say thank you to everybody for joining me, for joining Adroit, talking about CCLink IE. And I want to ask you guys, please to subscribe. And after you subscribe, click on this little bell icon. And every time we upload a video, you will be reminded of it. We will be sharing more webinars in the future. Freddie Murray is doing one on Tuesday again, and then next Thursday, Steve Britz is doing one on VSDs or VFDs, call it what you want. These guys know what they're talking about. I've learned a lot from them, so I'm sure you guys can learn a lot from them as well. All right. So if there's no questions, I wish you guys a fantastic day and a good rest of the week, and please join us next Tuesday and Wednesday where you can learn some more. Thank you. Cheers.